What's up, guys? Boogie back again. So, shout out to you guys for supporting your boy. So, do me a favor, like the video, subscribe. All right, really means the world to me because we're almost at 10,000 subscribers. So, with your help, guys, we're gonna get there, right? So, shout out to you guys for your support. We have so many videos to go through. We have so much to cook, so much to talk about. Okay, so let's get into it.
You want to change all of that, that's on you. But now, if my wife wanted to leave me today, I can walk away with integrity and knowing I was
With your
honest and
head held
upfront,
high.
always
Alicia,
upfront.
I have a
Always
que-
upfront.
I have a question, and you got it right. So, if is self-reported, all the single women say they're living their best life. So you and Jonathan saying that y'all winning to me is irrelevant because married men have to lie to protect the integrity
Not
of
only
their
that,
marriage. I would never expect a married
yeah,
man
Angela,
to
I'm
come on
gonna
YouTube and say, "Yeah, she's a meaning. She treats
You
me
right
bad."
about that.
No,
You right about
y'all,
that.
y'all like
I'll
everybody
bring.
else.
I gotta bring my wife on here. She would love it so
And
much.
you are going to look like an ostrich next to her because she's going to
yeah,
talk in your
because
like
Honey, come down and see how amazing I am.
let me just finish my point, please. Right?
Yeah,
Ask a brother. Did your first wife told you that she would love you forever and she will never leave you?
they all say that.
So honesty doesn't work.
That's facts.
Honesty works in the sense
It
that
doesn't work.
I'll
If
be,
she
and I'll
told
be
you
honest why.
something, and
I'll be
she,
honest why. I'll be honest why. And I'm saying this from a man of integrity
go
that
ahead.
did cheat in a previous relationship.
Damn.
Honesty matters in terms of my personal integrity and being able to walk away with that, still carrying that with me. Because if she switched up, if she changed, I can walk away with knowing that I didn't compromise or I didn't lie, I didn't hide anything. So
Mhm.
regardless of the type of woman she showed up as, I showed up in such a way that I'm not proud of as a man.
right.
Mhm.
But when you
So
first
for me
came
to
on
be able
here,
to, so for me to be able to put myself and build myself and put myself in a position where I can be upfront with women, upfront about. So when I go on a date with every single woman prior to meeting my wife, and I say I don't cook, I'm not gonna cook. That's not like me cooking is probably once a month. That's not on the table. You don't want to have sex with me. This is what the option is. If you don't want to work anymore, I'm still willing. So when you put those things up front, you can. I'll say it this way: when you've lost a marriage over doing what the suggestion of what you guys are suggesting, I don't think you understand. It's not just that you lost access to the relationship and potentially your kids. It's also the lack of integrity and that you had to carry around with you as a man that conquered
Right.
did
You've
that.
lost access to yourself as a man.
Yeah,
And
like you
Fatty,
gotta
I actually
realize,
don't
like
even
this
believe
is
you
the
would ever
no,
want to
yeah,
cheat on
but
me.
Can
this
I
is
say
what
I
something
have
real
to look
quick?
at me in the mirror.
yes, Angela.
I got you,
Look
Alicia.
at me in the mirror. And
Angela.
I know Angela wanted to say something, so I apologize. Go ahead, man.
Mhm.
Here's the thing, right? Both men and women do change in marriages or in relationships, right? They both change. We're human beings. We change. Who you married 10 years ago is going to be different from who you're married to 20 years later. We change what they like, things like that. But I think the biggest issue is if a man lies in a marriage and there's a divorce, he gets to pay. If a woman lies in a marriage and they get divorced, the man still gets to pay. So either way, whether the man says that tries to be a faithful man, a loyal man, tells the truth, keeps his vows, and she lies and she cheats, either way, the man still gets to pay the price. That's all we're saying.
Yeah, I like the idea of being transparent. I think sometimes it gets by because it's not even a thought because she is doing what she's supposed to do in the beginning. So I don't see if you guys meet and everything's being taken care of, a man just bringing that up to have the conversation. Like, listen, if you don't do this, if a certain amount of time passed by, because that's not an issue yet. So I think sometimes men expect it to be the same way down the line. Like, that's just, my opinion. I do like that idea, but
Mhm.
you know, I
Yeah,
think
these are
sometimes it goes
hypothetical.
like
Yeah,
that.
these are a lot of when I do divorce counseling, when I do couples counseling, it usually stems from conversations they didn't have earlier on when they weren't having the issues to begin with. It usually is better to talk about money, talk about infidelity, talk about all these scenarios
I agree.
before you walk across that aisle. So
Yeah, most men are just scared of speaking about things like money and talk about date because some women come with lots of student loan debt, maybe credit card debt, because they know the man is going to take care of it. But most times men don't want to talk about it because he's scared of losing the woman. He's scared that if he talks about the money, if he's scared if he asks the woman about the credit card debt, she may leave him because she may she may call him broke, and after so many times a man trying to date, and then he finally finds a woman who likes him, he's scared to talk about those sensitive things, even if he should. But I agree, men should talk about those things prior to marriage.
So people who do, a lot of couples wait until something happens to now say, now we need to talk about it.
Yeah, that's true.
What I'm suggesting is being more proactive, not reactive.
So this is this
and I
is
agree with you. Just to make sure when
Yeah.
people clip this, I agree with you. If you actually are worth something, if you are the average
Okay.
man,
Okay.
if you are the average man, you are not going to get away with this. You are
Yeah,
going to be penalized every time you're trying to be honest, while five men are on their DMs competing with you and lying to her every day.
I
You
feel
are
like
I
I'm
not
an
do
going to
think
average
this
win.
that
is
man.
some
but this
women
is
will.
Fadi's right. That's what I just said. Most average men are scared of trying to talk about money, trying to talk about what the woman's responsibilities are, what her role is going to be in the marriage, trying to talk about if she's going to be cooking, trying to talk about, you know, setting standards of she should never withhold sex. Most average men are scared because they know the moment they talk about those things, most women are going to leave them. So you find this man who has been struggling to get a date. He finally finds a woman who likes him. I say likes him in quotes because it's never really like that. But she has decided to settle down with him. He has been struggling to get a date, and then he's getting consistent sex. The last thing he's gonna talk about is you should never withhold sex from me. Because at the moment she gives him all the sex he wants. It's not until after the marriage, down in the marriage, that most women switch off the sex. So most average men are scared to talk about the sex ahead of time because they know if they do, the women will leave them.
Find it offensive
So, so
if you tell them, yeah, I know, so
what?
no,
right,
no, but
but
right, right.
I feel like especially in today's climate, like even though I like the idea of being honest up front and things like that, as the guy above me said, if you say to a woman up front, like, listen, after 3 weeks or whatever, I don't actually I'm coming home, this, she's liable to call you a misogynist
That's true.
And
and not even
what?
accept
Like, why would we
you
be
being
scared?
honest.
So,
So
how about?
I understand you're saying, Anne, but
Yeah.
like in the mindset of other men,
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
it's
All right. And Angela, I
it's
really
just a
appreciate
mind
your
frame
feedback.
today.
Yeah, I appreciate your feedback about the what Ali and a lot of the fatty is saying about, oh, so basically men should just lie. This is my lens and viewpoint. If men in mass started doing what I'm suggesting, first of all, I don't think men realize what the leverage we actually have in the dating market today.
Mhm.
More women are single than ever before. Single mothers are out of the woodworks. They're getting close. Winter is coming. So y'all going by the time we get to 2030, 2035, cat food prices going to go up.
It's gonna
A
be
lot of
crazy.
stuff is going to change. Winter is coming. It's getting real.
I
So a
like the
lot of y'all going
idea
to
of
be so a
that,
lot of so
but
the
a lot of
reality
women
is
still don't
we
care
talking
because
we
of what
Yes.
talking about
society is
we're
saying.
talking about whether or not a guy going to cheat or do something on the side. A lot of them their options is going to be sharing a man anyway 10 years from now. So
It
I'm just
already is.
Yeah, they're gonna be sharing the top man. Now, for me, he's saying 2030. That's 5 years from now. For me, my thing is 20 years from now. That's when women may. I'm not saying it's gonna happen. In 20 years, that's when women may think about the average man again. May think that, you know what? Maybe the average man is not so bad. Maybe a man who makes 70,000 is not so bad. Maybe a man who makes 60,000 is not so bad. In 20 years, he's saying in 5 years. In 5 years, women don't still care. They won't care. They still want the top guy. One day, once they realize that there's not enough top men, then they will think about the average man. In 20 years, in 5 years, they want the top guy and they don't mind sharing the top guy. But for
yeah,
now,
and
they
they
don't care.
already
They
are.
can't
They
And
already
accept
that's
the
where
are.
they're
truth.
going. That's where
Exactly.
they're
They
So
going.
can't accept the
so
truth. Like I said, they're
exactly.
gonna call you a misogynist. I agree with what
Yeah.
you're saying.
So yeah. So again,
You know,
what Jonathan said. This is I mean, what I said, and I think Jonathan agreed. A lot of what I'm suggesting is about the integrity of the man, what he can leave and walk, enter in and leave, walk away with. You can enter in with integrity and you can leave with integrity because you were upfront and honest from the beginning. And the
Yeah, but
woman
you
can change her
lost.
mind at any time. That has nothing to do with the character of the man that was honest and upfront and straightforward all the way through.
Ask a brother. You know why? You know why I respect you?
Yeah.
Because you are telling men to do what's right, but you are not telling men what's actually going to get them the win. You are
Mm-hmm.
right. Like I have this saying that
He
I
was
know.
there.
Nobody in this
He was
place
there.
said this since the day I'm getting here. You like this is what is happening.
Mhm.
We are raising women to do. We are raising men to do what's right,
Mm-hmm.
while we raise women to do what's right for
For
them.
them,
We are
yes.
raising men to do what's right for society, for the kids, for the
Facts.
woman, for the relationship, for the country, while we raise our daughters to do what's right for them.
For
Be
them.
careful. He wants to have sex with you. Be careful. Don't be a second. Like this is what is happening. So you are
I
giving
really
it.
think,
So
bro.
so so, so
I see it.
respectfully,
Yeah,
I respect you because you are actually telling men to be righteous, but you are
yeah.
sending men with
Into a
the
burning
knife to a
building.
gunfight. This is what is going to happen. Is they're going to get
I hear
there.
you.
They're going to play by the book, and you are going to notice that for whatever reason, the
Mhm.
men that play dirty get the best results. Are the men of
Yes.
these women lives? Are the men that these women complain about, but always have kids with them, live with them, go back to them, and all that? While the guy that is actually doing what's right is
Mhm.
always get the short end of the stick because he was honest and he was righteous and he was upfront, and
Facts.
now he's getting bamboozled because instead of actually using the cards that he has and put him next to his chest so nobody sees them so he can control the relationship better. He says, here you go. I have a ace of spades. I have a king, a queen. And let's be honest about it. Gotcha.
I
So,
just
Listen,
don't know
all
how.
I
That Fadi is right. If it was about being right and doing the right thing, all the nice guys, all the guys who are nice to women, all the men who wait 90 days for sex from women, all the guys who bring flowers, all the guys who take women to the expensive dinner dates that they want, all the guys who do that, who call and compliment women, who help women out, all the men who play stepdaddy because that's what a real man does, because that's what stepmothers say, that a real man will step up for the kids that don't belong to him. All those guys wouldn't be complaining. All those guys would be married in 50-year-old marriages. They would never break up. They would never come to complain and warn other men not to be stepfathers. They would never want other men not to be nice guys. They would never be cheated on. All the men who do the right things that Brother Jeff is saying, they wouldn't have those issues. But the issue is, just because a man is being loyal, is paying all the bills, is being a nice guy, doesn't mean the woman doesn't do what's in her best interest. Doesn't mean the woman won't divorce him because because of feelings. Doesn't mean the woman will like him because he's a nice guy and he's doing the right thing. She will choose the prison 6-foot guy over the nice guy who does the right thing, who goes to church, who's 5'8" at the end of the day. So it's okay for men to tell men to do the right thing, but you have to tell them that just because you do the right thing doesn't mean she won't leave. Just because you do the right thing doesn't mean when she divorces you, she will not take half of your assets because you are doing the right things. She won't refuse to take your kids just because you're doing the right thing.
You win in
all I
that
suggest, listen,
situation,
all I
though,
suggest,
Fatty.
not,
Like,
and
how
all
do
I
you
say,
win when you pour your love into a woman, but then also pour your body into another woman? I just don't see how you
like,
win.
that's
all
not
I'm
true.
going to say, and I'm going to go, fellas, real quick.
I
All I'm going
appreciate
to
you.
Thank you
suggest
so much, my
is,
brother.
Great job.
yeah,
You're
all
doing a
I'm going
great
to
job,
suggest,
sir.
yeah, all I'm going to suggest real quick is, based off of what I'm recommending, Jonathan's recommending versus what some of you all are what the other opposing sides recommending. Based off of what we're both recommending,
Mm.
the dating market is the result of listening to who?
Women.
The dating market and how trash
Women.
and how bad it is based off of whose recommendation?
Women.
Two
Women.
women.
Women,
That's why we two
women do
women.
what they want. Men do what they want. Nobody
Mhm.
be honest. Everybody lie.
Yes.
Has that led to the outcome of what everybody complained
Man,
about and
man,
what we talking
no,
about on this
that's good.
podcast right
You
now?
said
Because
that you ended that.
that's
No, no,
my
no,
lens.
no. You
That's
ended it wrong. No, no,
my
no.
lens is a lot of these
Women,
broken homes, a lot of these broken relationships, a lot of these people can't be happy. Everybody talking about everybody's lying and hiding and all this other stuff. The reason why the market is what it is because everybody's doing that type of behavior. Everybody's
Mhm.
listening to that type of advice. So my suggestion
I
is if
disagree.
everybody started to move more like this, we would actually align better.
Mhm.
But
Yes,
it's never gonna
and
happen.
you know what's
That's
funny?
the
You
thought.
will never have the following of Derek Jackson because this
Of
woman
course.
rather listen to liars than to actually
Hmm.
listen to truth tellers. This is why you'll never win because for every woman that you are going to convert, for every woman that Jonathan is going to convert, Ace Metaphor is going to say "Chada," and he will have 10,000 women listening to him
and you
lying
know
to
that
them
asking
to
That's
you,
get
fact.
his money.
maybe give me
Yeah,
No,
one.
that's not a
no,
lie right there. That's fact.
that's
Ask me,
fact.
brother. For
That's
the
fact.
one woman, you got listening to you, you got 1,000 women saying bump what you saying for what Fatty's saying.
Hmm.
Most of these women, one woman, three women we can get on here to conform. There's 1,000 women say, man, she a pick me. Don't nobody care what the hell she talking about.
Hmm.
Hey,
Bell
Absolutely.
Rose
hey.
gets
No,
attacked.
that's what we talked
Mika
about
gets
earlier in the
attacked.
Absolutely.
show.
Why
Angela
y'all
gets
think I'm
attacked.
here though?
Absolutely.
All
They
these
love
niggas
going
Why
know.
y'all think I'm here?
Yeah, but
Because
it's
listen, but why y'all think I'm here? Because in these spaces, no very few black men are saying you need to be honest with women up front.
No, I don't think that's true. I think you, my, I don't mind men being honest. I would rather tell a man just because you're honest doesn't mean she's gonna be honest. Just because you're honest doesn't mean she's gonna stay with you for the rest of your life. Just because you're honest doesn't mean she likes you for you. That's what I would tell men, and any man for sure. Just because you're gonna do the right thing doesn't mean she's gonna do the same thing. Because as men, we are very logical. We think just because you're nice to a woman, she's gonna be nice to you. I mean, it would make sense, right? It's the logic. But unfortunately, when it comes to relationships, it's almost like a wall at this point.
Why you even think I'm here? Because there's almost no black men in the manosphere space saying be honest with women from the beginning.
You
So the
can
reason
be,
why our
but
community looks the way it does, the reason why our relationships look the way it does, the way that our families look the way that it do, is because of a whole lot of men lying.
Ask a
A
And,
whole
brother.
lot of men
Ask a
not
brother.
being
We
true
said
and
that.
honest. What you say, Mika?
We said when they asked the question earlier, and they asked it to us, and I said, yeah, be honest and tell the truth. They want you to lie, but be honest and tell the truth. But at the end of the day, we already had this conversation. No, the women aren't. The women don't want to hear it from you, nor do they want to hear it from other women.
Yeah.
And that's just that's just the truth. And at the end of the day, we can't do anything about that because this is the environment right now.
and by
Like
the way, before
literally.
you go, you know when women actually listen to you, Esca brother,
What?
when they have no way out.
Hey,
It's
I'm on the
it,
other side of the
it,
wall. I'm waiting for y'all. Come on, ladies.
is
You old, you fat,
is the
you
rebranding,
old,
is
you
the
fat, you got 3 kids, you divorced 3 times. Now you ready to listen to me. Now send up the offering plate. I'm here to now this is the truth. That,
but
yeah, but which man is gonna take up that deal? She has 3 kids by different men. Now she's ready to listen to a man. Which type of man? The man who doesn't have kids? Is she ready to listen because her baby daddies didn't stay to take care of the kids? Is she ready to listen because she needs a man to come in and play stepdad? Or is she ready to listen because time is running out and she realizes the 6 foot, $10 million a year type of NBA player is not coming? Like, come on now.
huh?
but you see what I'm talking about? But
Yeah.
she didn't went to you because your message changed. She went to you because she
Because it's
needed
too
the
late.
rebranding. They
Yep.
go to y'all, they go to the church,
Yeah.
they will go to the conservative woman that they will call pick me for 10 years, and they will associate to them and says, yeah, a woman should be submissive to a man. Not
Hey.
because she actually wants that, it's because she wants a retirement plan. I want a God-fearing man.
Facts.
Why? Because the Bible says that you should provide to your woman. So now they want a sponsor. All of these is performative. These women have superpowers. They
Mhm.
were born with the biggest superpower in the planet, which is having a coochie in the middle of their legs. And only when they lose their superpower, they start to listen to people. While they are Power Rangers, they are flying around, calling the Megazords, teletransporting, and all that. As soon as the titty starts sagging and the eggs are not there, and all of a sudden, Jonathan, what is your opinion about how I should get the man? It's always like this. You
Fatty.
Yo, funny. That was that was very dramatic, but that was funny. But it is the truth. Now, I disagree with Fadi. It's not because they don't have options anymore. It's just that they realize, like I said before, the NBA player they were hoping to get, that 6 foot guy they were hoping to come their way, the provider man they were hoping to come their way, doesn't arrive. They wait from 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 2 kids later, 2 baby daddies later, 2 failed engagements later. They keep waiting for the Prince Charming. When he doesn't come, that's when they're going to be like, you know what? Boogie used to hit on me and he looks stable and he doesn't have kids. Maybe he'll accept me with my kids. And he has a house now. Okay, he's not making the 6 figures still, but he looks stable. Let me give him a chance. That's when they want the average guy. Not because they don't have the options. It's just that the guy they really want, it doesn't. At some point, they realize, you know what? I'm tired of waiting for my 6 foot, 6 figure type of man coming. I'm tired of waiting for him. I'm 45. He's not coming anytime soon. Let me just go to Boogie. But anyway, shout out to Fadi, man. This was funny. Link down below. Let's go to the next video. To La Pif. Let's go.
The women who struggle with having a successful and thriving career and are being told the personal life is going to have to either take a back seat or just not be as successful? Well, number one, be careful who you receive advice from. I do think that sometimes, even if it's people that you love, and sometimes your elders that you love around you, they might have felt like they couldn't do that, but that ain't got nothing to do with you. That's number one. Number two, get you a partner who wants to celebrate that part. You know what I mean? And literally look at you in your eye and say, let's do this. Let's figure it out together. Let's make a plan to do it, because that's what it took from me and my husband. My husband and I had a plan, and he is just Superman. Like, I don't know how I chose him, because all of my stuff would tell you, nope, that's not the one you're supposed to choose. I was totally supposed to choose somebody different. Like, meaning like my trauma was supposed to give me somebody completely emotionally unavailable, unhealthy. You know what I mean? But I chose up because I thought more of myself. So I chose a really good man. And I'm really proud of myself for choosing a really good man. And I'm so proud of us for wanting to do this together.
Shout out to Kelly Rowland, man. Sometimes it just sounds so refreshing to hear positivity and to hear
Facts.
marriage being spoken in such a good light. There was just one saying where people said, I believe our children are the future. You guys agree?
Yes.
Well, we're cooked.
Yeah.
So trying to change us might be a harder task, but our children are the future. So I want to start off with this question. What should a daughter learn first? Self-respect or submission?
I would say
Self-respect.
self-respect.
That's easy.
Self-respect.
Does anybody say submission? Everybody say self-respect? Okay,
I'm
why
gonna
is
say,
that?
I'm gonna say submission.
Okay, why is that, Edgar?
Well, the reason, especially if you have a daughter, right? If you have a daughter, I'm gonna say submission first because she has to submit to her parents first. You can then teach her self-respect along the way, but she has to understand that she has to submit to authority.
That's
You
true.
learn, you don't learn, you can't learn self-respect as a 9-month-old. You don't learn self-respect in that way. Those are things that you are taught, but you teach them the submission, understand that there's authority in the household, just as you want your wife to submit to you. As the
Can you learn submission as a 9-month-old?
can you what? They already know authority. They know authority when you walk in the room, do they not?
As a 9-month-old?
They may not know the actual phrase and term of it, but they operate as such because they know that you are authority in the home.
Which
Say that
one
again.
Is that not based on fear?
I think fear is a part of submission. You know how we submit to God and we fear God? I think to some extent you can't not submit to somebody you don't fear. If you submit to your boss, if you have a job, you probably do submit to your boss. You may not think about it like as if you're submitting to your boss. But the reason I say fear is part of submission, because you don't want to come late to work and your boss watches you coming late to work. You're probably going to try to sneak around because you fear your boss seeing you coming late to work. So it's part of submission, I think so.
There has to be a level. There can be a level of it. You submit to God, right? So there has to be a level of fear.
Yeah.
Right. So that's fear.
It's
That's not
both.
that's not respect.
In order to have respect, there has to be a level of fear too. Just as you have a manager or a boss, there has to be a level of fear of you doing the wrong
That's
thing.
what I just said. Yeah.
Right?
Well, Courtney, what is more likely to happen without somebody having to teach you? Submitting to something, someone, or some principle, or having respect for yourself?
Oh, say that again. I'm sorry.
What is more likely to happen without someone else, external from you, teaching you it? Submitting to someone or something, or having respect for yourself?
Well, you're gonna have to submit first.
No, that's not what I'm asking. I'm saying what's more likely to happen?
Submitting.
You made me fuck my own
naturally,
question.
what
What's more
naturally
natural?
happen, based
Go ahead,
on
go
what
ahead.
he's saying, what would naturally happen, submission would come from whether if you're a child, submission is going to come automatically, right?
Yeah.
Because typically
No.
submission comes from something that you depend on.
Yes.
Children depend on their parents, right? So
Yeah.
they're going to submit naturally. The
I agree.
self-respect is going to have to come because what happens is if you don't learn the self-respect, you will submit to anything.
Submission
So
is
that-
a
that-
child is not going to naturally submit to you.
I agree. She broke it down very well. You know, for example, if I have a gun and I meet you, you're probably gonna submit. I don't have to teach you to submit. If you just see me with a gun and I have my gun holding it in front of you, chances are 9 out of 10 times you're gonna submit to me. If you're smart. If you're not smart, you're gonna try to pull moves and you're gonna get yourself, you know, out of here. But she's right. Submission can come naturally or by force. Doesn't have to be taught, but self-respect has to be taught for sure.
You have
I
to.
was gonna say that actually both of those
You
go
have
hand
to
in hand.
raise your child. You have to raise people, a human being. You have to guide them in a direction to get them to submit. That naturally, the human mind is naturally deviant, and it's going to go
what
its
he's
own way.
talking
You
about
have
is
to guide.
submission in regards to being in relationship, right? That has to be taught. But natural
well, when you-
submission that would come from like just being born, like that happens whether you are a girl or a boy. So it's necessary to teach both girls and boys self-respect because you would submit even men submission for things that you shouldn't be submitting to, like other friends, submitting to being, a sexual deviant. Like we submit to things all the time. So
You can,
learning
you can even
self
look at it in the friend group. I'm sorry if I'm
lear-
cutting you off, but you can even look at it in the man's friend group. There's always quote I don't like using it, but I'm gonna use it just for the sake of this debate. But the alpha male in the group, everybody else submits to that alpha male in that friend group because they know who that alpha male is. You're gonna submit to him
That's true.
because we've learned this. We learned this even from our younger age. You learn self-respect as you get older. You're taught certain things. This you gotta have certain self-respect for yourself in aspects when you're doing wrong. That's why you get taught up. That's why you get trained up.
But that's not what JR asked. He asked, would you teach your daughter self-respect or submission? We're going talking about the young men. I think
I answered that. Yeah, I say submission.
I agree with you. I wanted everybody to talk. I think submission needs to be taught first because in order to self-respect and learn self-respect, you have to submit. Like the reason why I say that is if I'm teaching self-respect, there is a level of submission because I'm in a position to guide and teach.
Facts.
If I'm teaching self-respect without submission, you be having a battle amongst yourself. So I would teach her submission first.
And we like I said, submission, and like she said, mistaken said it first. I want to give her credit. She said submission sometimes comes naturally, whether it's forced or something. Sometimes you don't have to be taught how to submit, but if you depend on somebody, chances are you're going to submit to that person. That's why as men, and most men say this, you don't have to want to you shouldn't have to teach your woman to submit to you. She should be naturally submissive to a man. Naturally, it should come naturally, the same way a man should be naturally a provider. I don't think any woman wants to teach a man how to provide. They expect us to know it, right? So the same thing happens to a woman. We don't have to teach a woman how to be submissive. She's either feminine naturally, submissive naturally, or she's not. But anyway, this was a good different conversation. But shout out to Lapif. Let's go to the next video. This is gonna be from 8 at the table.
Nearly half of working age women are projected to be single by 2030. Morgan Stanley forecasts the number of females without partners to increase by 1.2% annually. The overall U.S. population is expected to grow by only 0.8% per year. More women are postponing marriage, opting to remain single, or divorcing later in life. Many are also delaying childbirth or choosing to have fewer children than in past generations.
Why do they be doing studies on women?
We love y'all.
Because we the best, baby.
Like what in the brains?
It's all propaganda because when you think about it, they do studies on women when it comes to bullshit like this.
That's not
they don't
bullshit.
do studies on women or require women's input or their experiences to be involved when it comes to medical research. Research.
Yeah.
They don't do it when it comes to like you said, educate. Well, maybe education now, I guess. But I think where it really matters,
science.
Yeah, like
why is this on your brains? Why do we need this
Propaganda.
why do we need this study?
But you know what?
You know, I was letting it play because I can't believe these women are asking why they're doing studies on relationships. And, you know, with that, they added the concept of how the population growth is slowing down. You know why? Maybe because Social Security isn't enough. There's not enough people working to deposit into Social Security, which means you won't have enough Social Security for retirement because enough people were not born, right? Maybe there won't be enough people to take care of you when you're older because enough people, you didn't make enough babies. You know, this goes hand in hand. So I was hoping somebody in the room would talk about why studies about relationships is important, because it connects to population, it connects to employment, it connects to retirement. All those things going hand in hand. I'm surprised no one, I mean, that's common sense, but hey.
I'm gonna be honest with you though. I don't think it's propaganda. I think
It's
like
not.
they do stuff like this to give us knowledge because, like, for example, I have a daughter, right? She's 18. Recently, she was at the house with a few of her friends, all girls, and they were all telling me that none of them are having babies. They were all
That's
telling me
scary.
this, and I'm like, what? Why? Right? Like, obviously, the other kids, they're not my daughters, so you know, whatever they choose to do, that's on them. But even my daughter, like, to say that she's never gonna have a child, that means that you're never gonna give me a grandchild is crazy.
You have the kids.
That's the only thing you're thinking about?
No, because they mentioned that in the video, how like the future generations they're opting in to not have children. Like that
You know what I
means
think?
something.
This study, you know what the study says to me? That the good old boys miss the old days.
There you go. That's exactly what it is.
That's what it says.
That's exactly.
Oh
They miss the old days of women's staying in the kitchen.
That's exactly.
Go ahead,
what it is.
get on that
No.
hot plate.
It's been like that for a couple years now.
But guess what, Imani? They was paying for everything back then.
Oh my God, I'm not paying.
I'm just saying, y'all.
No,
That's the traditional mindset.
No,
The woman stays
no.
home with the children. She takes care of the home and
But
the children.
We literally
the man
do
goes
not
out and
have
works
the
and
economy.
provides.
We literally don't even have the economy to have that kind of relationship, those kind of
Correct.
gender roles. Like
Correct.
we don't.
We don't have the economy, but it's not like women want to stay home anyway and cook for their husband anymore. It's one, and they always use the excuse of, you know, we need two incomes. But even before the whole excuse of we need two incomes, when women fought to go to work, they didn't want to cook for their man, especially black women. So now they use the excuse of I have to work because, you know, we need two incomes. But usually they still want the man to pay all the bills if he can, if they could. But they still also want to work and save their money for a rainy day, for the escape plan.
Even if
You're literally agreeing with what he.
I am. No, I am.
No, I agree. The economy is not the best, but that's why you got to be with a 1%er.
Even if I wanted it, I know it's totally unrealistic to be in a relationship and expect a man to pay for every single thing.
I think people lean on tradition when it suits in certain moments.
Yeah, of course,
And
absolutely.
I'll say this: black women, period, of this generation, being some of the more educated, some of the more as far as entrepreneurship
And debt, school
it's,
debt.
it's just different times, and we speak to it in a very negative way. This kind of pushes to that, which I'm not for. It's propaganda to push
You're
towards
wrong.
that, because
He's wrong.
even the person that they used in the initial screenshot of it was a black woman.
That's a white belly.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's representing what they want to push. We don't want y'all to be. Now, don't get me wrong. I do think that there's certain people that will push a negative connotation of what a black independent woman looks like.
Yeah.
I don't feed into that. I think a black independent woman could
He's a
also be a
ponderer.
black married woman with kids. They won't push that.
Yeah.
They won't push that study of how many black educated women actually married with kids.
That's dangerous.
They won't push the study because black women don't want to be married anymore, especially if they have to do their gender roles. They want to be married to a man who's going to pay all the bills, and they still can be able to go to work. They shouldn't be expected to cook. They shouldn't be expected to take care of the kids after birth because the man should pay a babysitter as they go back to work. So clearly they don't want marriage anymore. Otherwise, they wouldn't be having all the babies before marriage that they do. So why would you push a study that they don't want That's why they push college and things like that, because the black women get the student loan debt.
That's what I was gonna
and
say, because
that's the propaganda that's being pushed, and it's because massa wants you to remember the good old days when you sat your ass down, we ran this ship, and it was just more comfortable moving in that direction. So now when you hear this, and even in that moment, like even when you say what you heard your daughter and the girl say, that might not even be an original thought for them. That might be something that was pushed to them through this avenue that they feel is now normalized. Because
No, it's their mothers who push their daughters not to have babies and to be independent and just go pop their pussy and be a city girl and be a hot summer girl, summer girls, and do all that shit that Gorilla and Cardi B are talking about. They're emulating Cardi B. Go out in the streets, do whatever you want, have multiple baby daddies and things like that. Break up your marriage.
a lot of women now feel the only way that they can achieve that success is through being an independent, single, not married, no kids woman. And that's what's happening at this point.
But how is that helping the community?
I don't think there's anything being said to how well balanced. I speak to it today. I'll say it for myself as someone who is not married with kids and not the highest of education. I walked into a house of educated black people who are married with kids and doing what they're doing. That's not talked about enough.
At all.
They'll sit there and they'll focus on these moments to also put in our brain that that's the norm. And it's not the norm.
It is.
This is the norm. It all depends on what circles you decide to filter yourself in. So now when you walk in that room and you hear your daughter speaking like that, the message should always be, okay, I get it. You can always want what you want, but that's not the norm. You can create whatever norms you want to create. When I walked into this room, this was the norm. There's going to be other days where I walk into another room, and that might be the norm. But you don't dictate to me what the norm is. Not by no damn study, especially not by no Morgan Stanley. I'm not rocking with it.
I mean, it's really simple. Just look at, from the time when the two-parent households, marriage rate was high, compared to now, where the rate of single mothers outpaces the rate of marriages. Just think about that. How is that affecting kids? How is that affecting kids, in terms of they don't have fathers? And how does that lead them to dropping out of school, not educated, going to prison, committing crimes? Because people can do whatever they want, but we have studies to show us what has worked and what hasn't worked. And clearly whatever is happening right now is not really working, at least not for the future generation. But hey, listen, y'all do what you want. Shout out to 8 at the table, link down below. Let's go to the next video. This is Ashley.
Yeah, part of that is a lie. We don't want selfish women. We want women to court us just like we court them. So no, that's a lie. That's
You
a
want
that's
a
a problem.
woman to court you. You want a
Yeah,
woman to court
absolutely.
you.
It's not a one-way street. It's not a one-way street.
So if you get the woman of your dreams, she's a perfect 10. Whatever your idea of a perfect 10 is in your eyes,
She went extreme.
you would want her to court you when you meet this perfect 10. Your perfect 10.
Nobody's perfect. What's a 10?
Exactly.
No, but I'm saying your idea of a perfect 10. Just your idea of a perfect 10.
She went extreme. You see what she's doing? She's going to extreme to try to throw him off, thinking about that if a woman is a 10, she shouldn't do anything for a man. That's what she's trying to do. Watch.
Ask the question again.
So when you meet your idea of a perfect 10,
There's
your,
no one perfect.
your idea, your standard of a perfect 10, you will want her to court you.
Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
As I would court her. Absolutely.
Exactly.
See,
Gotta
the
invest.
problem what happened is women have started to complain about chain restaurants. That
Mhm.
messed the whole game up.
Yeah.
That messed it up. When women started to complain about little stuff like that, it made it hard
That's
for
true.
a lot of y'all.
Cheesecake
Because
Factory.
there's nothing wrong with chain restaurants, Chili's, Cheesecake Factory. You they're making it too hard. So men are
Exactly.
like, you had a beautiful woman just a few minutes ago. Men don't approach her. because y'all acting scared. Oh my God, you frighten me. I'm like, well, I'm trying to get to know you. That's a problem. So men are saying, you know what? Since there's less of us, we're the prize now.
Facts.
Since there's less of us and more of y'all going to have to start approaching us.
Facts.
Because, yeah.
That's facts. Ashley looks shocked, but it's like when men approach you, you talk about they're stalking you, or they have been screaming for 20 plus years, men don't approach us. Oh my God, you look scary. I hate when men approach me. I don't go out looking for attention. I don't go out looking for men. Even if I have a very short dress on, men said, okay, I'm not approaching you anymore. And now they're saying, no, men should be like men of yesterday and approaches. What do you want? So men are saying, hey, listen, I got my shit together. You want me, you come for me. If not, I will leave. Like, fuck it.
So why not date the girls who are at Chili's, who are at Cheesecake Factory, who are at Red Lobsters? Why not date those girls who are at the bar? They frequent it. They're there all the time. Forget the internet girlies.
They
Why
don't.
not date those women who are there at the bar?
What's an internet girl?
The girls on the internet saying they want fine dining, they want Michelin star, and they want to be courted. Forget them. Why not go to those restaurants? You see those women at the bar and date them.
They don't. I don't know when the last time this woman went to Cheesecake Factory with a girl at the bar. They don't. Either they are with their homegirls, and then if you try to approach one, they're all gonna ask you for drinks. If not, they're gonna say we're out with our homegirls. Don't disturb us. If they even give you a chance to talk to you. What is she talk? So clearly, women don't know how hard it is for a man.
Oh, I don't meet women at a restaurant. I'm just saying, when you suggest those type of places, the women will make a video and try to embarrass the guy and this and that and the third. That's no good.
That's true.
But I think what it is people are just not dating the people who are on their level. I think that's just
what does that mean?
So there are women in the world who don't mind going to Red Lobsters, who don't mind going to Chili's. But you may want the girl, or somebody may want the guy who's a 10, who has a nice body, who they like, or who they see as their dream person. And that
person wouldn't be on
a certain standard.
Okay, what woman wouldn't be on another man's level? Is that money?
Good question.
What is that? Or is that looks? What is that?
Good question.
Well, that looks different from men and women. So again, I'm saying, if you're saying, you know what, women are complaining about being taken to Chili's or Red Lobsters, that means you want to date the girls who don't want to go there. But I'm saying there are a group of women, a demographic of women who want to go to Chili's, who want to go to Red Lobsters and Cheesecake Factory and won't complain about it. But
where are those girls? They're literally friends together. Because it's not like the girls who want to go to Ruth Chris are not friends with the girls who want to go to Cheesecake Factory. They are all friends. And guess what? If one girl who doesn't mind going to Wendy's is friends with a girl who goes to Ruth Chris, they infect this one. Oh, girl, know your standards. Don't settle down. Oh, you deserve better. Even if she has 3 kids with 5 different men, she's still going to think, oh, you know what? My girlfriend is right. I deserve Ruth Chris. I deserve the best of the best.
That's not who you want to date. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I get that. But usually you find out, in retrospect, you find out later. You know what I'm saying? But I think that's one of the problems. Men want women to do the same as they're doing. It's just not the way it used to be. You said you're 60 years old, so you already know how it used to be.
Yeah.
You already know how it used to be.
How was it? Remind me, Earl. How was it?
It was simpler. It was simpler. It was easier. You know how it was. You know exactly how it was.
Is it more of a challenge now as a man?
People make it hard because it's so materialistic. I mean, I'm watching shows. It's funny too. I'm watching the Pop the Balloon show, and you have people eliminating people off of attire and shoes. Both sides, men and women.
Right.
That's ridiculous. But you're not looking for love. You judging people off an outfit when they can easily probably change that outfit. You know what I'm saying?
Right, but yes, no, absolutely. But Earl, what I'm saying is there is a demographic of women who don't want a Birkin bag.
Where?
Who don't want 5-star dining.
Where are they?
Dubai.
Where?
More simple women, low maintenance women who wouldn't mind dating a man like you, Earl. They
Where?
wouldn't mind cooking and
I'm not
cleaning
talking
and
about
rubbing
me.
your feet.
I'm not talking about me. I DJ.
Forget that. She keeps saying there are women out there who don't mind those things. Where are those women? Guys, am I crazy? Where are those women? I'm confused. Last I checked, they all claim they don't want to settle. I'm telling you today, if a woman earns, because you would think the woman who earns the same money that you earn would be okay going to these places that she's mentioning. But as soon as the woman earns the same money as you, she's going to think she wants more. It even gets worse. Even if she earns less than you, she thinks an average man is below her. Average women don't want average men. So where are these women who are willing to go with Boogie to an ice cream shop? Where are they?
I'm talking about a lot of men who I know, maybe family members and on social media that complain about this. Is because the women are too shallow, they're too materialistic. They need to pump their brakes on that a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
So
Like
if
you
you're
said,
not talking about you,
nah, nah.
so
I
you
ain't
don't
talking
mind
about.
a materialistic woman. You don't mind a materialistic woman who enjoys the finer things in life, since you're not talking about you.
She can request anything she wants. That don't mean she gonna get it.
That's facts. That is true. She can want all she wants. Doesn't mean he's gonna pay up. I mean, and that's a good mindset to have as a man. It's like, okay, you want all this. Bye. See you next year.
Okay, so that's a no. I'm gonna take that as a no, Mr.
Yeah, I mean,
Earl. That's a no.
yeah, I mean, I've had experiences like that, but for the most part, what I'm saying, I can hang up just like they can. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. I don't think there's a woman out of any man's league because we're the ones who approach. So we get told no all the time. We're not afraid of rejection. It's women who are afraid and don't like rejection. We're used to it. We
That's
get told
fact.
no all the time. We get told no
All
all
our
the
lives.
time. We bounce back from that. Because
All
we're
our
the ones who's
lives.
supposed to approach anyways. I get it. But maybe some of y'all ladies, y'all might need to start approaching men.
Facts.
Yeah, absolutely not. I'm not encouraging that. Absolutely
not?
not.
Okay, then die alone.
You saw the nice young lady. You saw the nice young lady just a few minutes ago. She didn't even know how to respond to your little back and forth, little scenario.
Right. But even in nature, the lion goes after the lioness. Even in nature.
Women
That's how
don't
things
want to.
go.
Women don't want to be compared to animals.
That's
women
true.
don't want to be compared.
But what I'm saying, Mr.
That's true. They don't want to be, because every time men talk about the woman is the natural, the woman is the nice one, she's kind, she's feminine, she's soft. When I'm gonna be like, no, I can do everything a man can do. Don't compare me to animals. That's mean. I can do everything a man can do. I can pay bills. I got my own money. But when the check comes, oh, now they want to be soft and nice when the check comes, when the bill comes. That's true.
I think men don't like that women have standards.
That's
and
not
women
true.
are asking for more, because then that means you guys actually have to step up to the plate. You have to work a little bit harder. You have to be a little bit more ambitious, and you have to try more.
What do we get in return?
Okay, if I'm a football coach,
Right.
and I'm constantly losing games, I'm never winning. I need some new plays.
That's
I need
true.
some new assistant coaches, or I need to draw up some new plays so I can win.
New players.
So if your standards are not allowing you to win,
that's
you need
true.
to switch it up.
Facts.
Right. That's why
men do not have an issue with women having standards. Have all the standards you want. Because first of all, 9 out of 10 times you're not going to get the standards that you have because they're ridiculous. But number two, the men who can afford your standards are asking a simple question. What do I get in return? Minus the punani, minus the vagina, what else? And they're saying nothing. It's just the vagina. That's enough.
I go back to, if the girl that you want, who you perceive as a perfect 10, in your eyes, if she's the perfect 10, does she need to chase you? Does she need to court you? And should she lower her standards if you perceive her Mr. Earl, as your perfect 10?
Perfect. No one is perfect.
Like I said,
Oh.
like I said, all this shallow stuff, all this materialistic stuff, people not gonna win that way.
That's true.
I mean, the pandemic proved to us that we need each other. You know, real talk. You know, I'm talking about men and women, no matter the race. That proved right there that we actually need each other. But until all this shallowness, all this broke, and all this stuff, you know, 65% of Americans are struggling.
That's
Let's
true.
just keep it real. I mean, so
That's
you know,
that's
I mean,
important. And I say people should go with their love and appreciate it. So again, if that's not for you, if you feel like a woman is shallow or too focused on materialistic things, which is fine, I say date the woman who is the opposite, who doesn't want those things, who wants to cook, who wants to clean, and who's not going to ask you for birthdays, trips, Birkin bags. Why not just date that woman? There are
they
a
should be asking
demographic
for
of women.
a Birkin bag costs $11,000 to $20,000.
Yeah.
You better get you a knockoff and call it a day. Just like the rest of these purses that these women are carrying. Most of those purses are knockoffs. I know people who sell those. I mean, what do you need a $10,000 bag for?
Good
You know what I'm
question.
saying? When you're complaining about your $1,200 rent. Why you need that bag?
Yeah, but I would assume the girl with the $10,000 purse has the lifestyle and has the monies. So
No, she doesn't have the money unless the men give it to her. Very few women make hard-earned money and spend it on a Birkin bag and spend $20,000 in a bag. Very few women. Even the women who like expensive restaurants, they may go to those restaurants maybe on their birthday. That's once a year. But if not that, very few women who make, because women who make good money know how hard it is to make money. So they're not just gonna spend 20,000 like that. It's usually the women who don't make that much money who want men to spend money on them.
would be complaining about $12,000 rent, and I can't even assume her rent would be $12,000 if she's spending $10,000 on a bag.
They do that all the time.
There's no way.
I said 1,200, but yeah, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
Listen, I love what you're doing. I love the fact that, you know, these women are calling and things like that. But most of the time, they're trying to do what? They're trying to attract
Find a
men.
retirement plan. Yeah.
Is that the purpose of your show?
No,
Is that part of the purpose of your
my
show?
is for women to be the best versions of themselves,
And
so
to find
they
a
can
rich man.
attract abundance in life, not just men, friendships, all things.
Is 90% of it about men though?
No. So you're
No?
not familiar with my platform. No.
That's not true.
Say it again.
You're not familiar with my platform. No. 90% of it is not about men. No.
Well, most of the women that are calling, they're calling about boyfriends and relationships
and rich
what they
men.
need to level up.
I would have to disagree, Mr. Earl.
Oh my God! Most of the women
that is the truth. Ashley, I mean, I get it. She may not want to, admit that women call in to find ways they can look good, lose weight in order to get a rich provider man. But that's what really happens most times. Most women call in to ask her how they can dress, how they can look good, how they can lose weight, what they can do for men to approach them, for rich men. Otherwise, she has never preached to women to date average men. She has never preached to women to look good for average men. She has never done that.
Your show, they are talking about men. They're talking about
That is true.
what they need to do to attract men.
Yeah.
To attract rich men.
This is only one live that you watch. This is only
understand.
one live.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't say I watch every live, but the point I'm trying to make, is
she's not going to admit.
Sheer 7. She's not correct.
No, she is. She is. She is. Mm-hmm.
Tell me.
Mm-hmm.
Listen.
And the fact that she agrees with Shira 7, at least Ashley tries to hide the fact that she's teaching women how to find, rich men. Because at least Ashley tells women that, hey, in order to attract a rich guy, you're going to have to look good. You're going to have to lose weight. You're going to have to, be soft and dress well. At least Ashley does that. Shira 7 tells women How to attract rich men. No, actually, to only go for rich men. That's it. Not look good, not talk to them nicely. She teaches women how to disrespect rich men and how to use them. At least, but the fact that she agrees with Shira 7, that lets me know it's the same thing.
All I'm saying is this: have your standards, but are you winning with your standards? That's all I'm saying.
That's a good question.
Have all the standards that you want.
Mm-hmm.
Are you winning with those standards?
They're not.
Right.
Is that not good advice? If you're not winning with your standards, you don't think you need to tweak something? You should be winning with your standards.
That's
so
true.
If you got high standards, where are those people at?
Where the resorts?
What will you tell your daughter? What will you tell her?
Same thing.
About what?
About having standards. Should she lower them? Or should she go out, not only be the best young woman she can be, but also find someone who will show up, keep their word, do all of the things for her? And that's just not financially, that's all things. So will you tell her to keep her standards and have high standards or lower them, Mr. Earl?
I like these examples, these anecdotals. If I had a daughter, I'd have to cross that bridge when it got there. You know what I'm saying? Or niece, or cousin, or anything like that. But again, I would say, be who you want. Be who you want. If you're not that.
Facts.
So that's what you would tell your daughter, be who you want.
No, I don't have a daughter, but I'm just saying.
I'm just saying hypothetically, if you had a daughter or a niece, as you said, be who you want.
Be who you want.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a standard, be that.
Good. That's a good. I mean, that's good advice. But I think the first thing he said is true, which I will tell my daughter or any female friend or I don't know female associate that I know. Have all the standards that you have, but it doesn't mean you're gonna get it. That's number one. Number two, are the standards you have, are they giving you the results that you have? If they're not, then something is off.
Okay.
Be that.
So that's okay.
Yeah, I mean, if you have a standard, be that. You got people walking around here, they don't even qualify.
But why do you care, Mr. Earl? Respectfully, why?
It's just a conversation.
Why even
a conversation?
Exactly. Guys, I'm reacting to this in real time. That's what I would say. It's just a conversation. It's just that it's because it's going on so much. It's so crazy the standards women have. It's just you can't help but talk about it. But she's confronting him just because he's having a conversation. And women don't like when men try to talk about the delusional standards they have.
It's a conversation. This is a conversation. We're just having a conversation. I appreciate you.
No,
wasn't no men coming up. So I said, you know what? I've been putting Cap in the comments. I'm gonna come up.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And I love it. I see them. I see the comments. Most of my they talking about I hate women. How do I hate women when I got a mom, I got an aunt, I got a grandmother. Most of my subscribers are women. I don't hate women. I'm just keeping the facts. No men would come up.
That's true.
So be your standard. That's all I'm saying.
It just feels like, and I could be wrong, but your energy feels a little like you're upset at the world, like you have a chip on your shoulder.
How?
We just having a conversation.
They do this all the time. Every time a man tries to check their standards, they say you hate women. Yeah, you hate your mama. You must be an incel. You don't get no pussy. We are just having a conversation about the standards. All he simply said that materialism is crazy. It's crazy. He even talked about holding men accountable, that some men are also delusional in their standards. And she's saying, oh, your energy's off. Really? It's just a conversation. She's trying to gaslight him.
Not having a conversation with me, Mr. Earl. But it feels like a little defensive.
Feels.
It feels a little bitter.
Feels. She's dealing in feelings.
But that's the energy I'm getting from you.
That's the energy you want to get.
All they want is bag and shoes, bro. I'm sick of this ish.
He didn't talk like that.
That's the energy that I feel.
I never
from
said.
you.
He never talked like that. She's lying.
It's the energy. I know you didn't. You didn't say it. You didn't say that.
No, I didn't say it. No, I didn't say that.
That you didn't say it, but that's
I came up. I came up because no men coming up. I respect your platform. I love it. Because the women don't really want to hear men critiquing their looks and things like
That's
that.
true.
So I appreciate what you do. Yeah, I really do, because they're gonna respect you more than maybe a man trying to tell them how to look and things like that. Even though a lot of women will ask us, and we really have to, we can't be honest. We have to
We
lie
have to lie. Yeah.
a lot of times, because women don't really want to be critiqued by us in those areas. So I appreciate that you do that because they respect you. But no, I'm not none of that.
He spoke nicely.
I just came up. I just came up because a lot of men. Yeah, you're right. There was a lot of men in your comments, and they didn't come up.
Fair enough. Well, thank you, Mr. Earl, for coming up, and have a good evening.
Man, he spoke nicely. She tried to gaslight him, saying he's emotional and he hates women and has bad energy. But I guess it's a female thing. Like he said, women don't like to be critiqued by men, and that's what he was doing. And even her, she didn't like it. And you would think should be more understanding than the women in the comments, because this is what she does. But it is what it is. Shout out to this gentleman. Men are tired of approaching. Men are saying, "What do I get in return?" And women don't like it. Women don't like when men speak up. But anyway, shout out to her. Shout out to Ashley. Link down below. Let's go to the next video. Lapif. Let's go.
One of the points you made about the fact that child support laws wasn't even there was shocking, right, Jasmine? Like they should have been there in the first place, right? But a large reason why they were introduced because initially those laws didn't compensate for women who wanted to be promiscuous, or men who wanted to be promiscuous, or couples who wanted to create children out of wedlock. Those laws were initially set up for marriages, but they didn't compensate for people being reckless and having kids out of wedlock. So they had to create these laws. Because when you got out of a marriage, traditionally or initially, then those laws would cover that. So they had to create these other laws, as women were like, well, dang, Joe down the street knocked me up. Shouldn't he be on child support? Okay, so now they got to spread it out for people who weren't doing it the traditional way or the moral way. Now you understand why they weren't there?
Agree. I feel like there should be some women on child support. So I'm not.
But if you just look at that concept, just see how it creates a trend whenever we start bending the laws or expanding the laws to compensate for people just want to act immoral or just do whatever the hell they want. And we are at nearly, one could argue that we're at a Sodom and Gomorrah type society now because of all of the pushing. Let's push for this. Let's push for it because we feel like this is what should be right. But the end result is not even supporting that is the actual way to go. The end result is we live in a disastrous type society. We got the most technology, the most resources, the most wealth. Everybody is completely free in this country, but we are the worst, I think, in parenting, dual parent households, and all these other things. It's because of the push, because of I feel like this is right. And I'll yield. I don't want to stay on this too long.
I wanted to jump in and give a different perspective because I actually agree with him in what he stated in the video. And I do think that Lashia made his point that most women, especially in Western civilization, do not care about the welfare of men or what they're dealing with. And we don't even acknowledge it, right? Like we've come to this time in space and society where we only think about our needs. Let's take something as small as paternity of a child. A woman can say that a child is a man's, right? Put his name on a birth certificate, and he's automatically obligated to take care of that child. A man could ask for a DNA test. They don't necessarily have to give it to him unless they down the line he gets it and finds out that that child is not his after he paid child support for the last 10 years, 15 years, however long.
And he doesn't get back the money. So just because you find out the kid is not yours and you've been paying child support, you don't get paid back. It is they would just say, "Oh well, It doesn't matter. So
The courts, the way they're set up right now, they won't even. For me, I feel like for one, the woman should go to jail, right,
mm-hmm.
or at least owe all of that money back.
Yeah.
Because now you've stolen all of this man's money. You've broken the household. You've created some type of mental trauma, not only for that man, but also for this child. And the only person in that situation that knew exactly who the parent would be the woman, right? Because it's mama's baby, daddy's maybe. But the laws are not set up on behalf of men. And I feel like it's, extremely negligent of us as women who say we are the nurturers, we are the carers, we are the ones that care about society and how our children grow up, to totally negate the experience of what men are going through. There are laws in place for us. Now we can walk around, you can go around with almost no clothes on, and you should still feel protected walking down the street. But a man that's actually screaming out and feeling like he's not, right? He's dealing with this trauma. He's dealing with these financial issues because he has to take care of children that might not be his, or dealing with everything else that goes on with life. We turn around and we tell them, that's your problem.
Facts. Man, shout out to Ty. Oh my God. This is the first time I've watched Ty actually speak up for men. Because I know she's she's a mini feminist. She's not like Bo and this one over here and Shan. Man, she's a mini feminist. She's a feminist underneath, right? But this is the first time I gotta give her credit, man. It's very rare to see a woman speaking up for men. So if I see it, I gotta give credit where credit is due. I don't care about all the feminist shit she has said before about men and how she may hate men and things like that. But for now, she's speaking up for men, and I'm gonna give her credit. And you can see the faces on other women. They don't like it. They don't like when a woman speaks up for men. Oh my God, they hate it. But she's saying if a woman finds out, if they find out that a man has been paying child support and the kid is not his, the kid wasn't his and he was made to pay child support, the woman should go to jail. I agree.
Deal with it.
And I can tell you what, when I listen to Ask a Brother, I think it's St. James or something like that. When I listened to you talk to those women, I saw a man who was passionate about being accurate and saying what needs to be said. You probably said it 1,000 times, but it finally fell on the right ears. But it's something I think most of the guys on this panel can argue that we probably fucking wrote a book on that over and over on this particular show right here. But we understand, and you sounded like you understood as well, that whenever you spoke to those women and they listened to you, what happened was an exchange from two groups of people that had been exposed to different realities. When I say different realities, and this allowed me to understand people like that, those women that you spoke to, they have a different algorithm. They have a different thing they ingest and digest every day. So I'm able to understand that some of the things that I digest and ingest is different as well. Because if you look back in time before algorithms or the internet, we lived in a newspaper type society where everybody who got the same newspaper believed in the same things for the most part. We read the same headlines. The same jargon or the same slander was on a particular political figure. We all went that way. Now, your algorithm is curated for
what you're interested in.
For you, we can be in the same house. My wife can have a different algorithm that'll position her against my ideology, and that's what we deal with sometimes when we come together. But what happens is you have to figure out how to look at the results of all of the matters that you talk about. What are the results? What's happening? Is it destruction? Is it success? And I think what you did was showcase that you were on the side of success, but you were speaking to the destruction that was happening and asking the women, hey, look, open up your lens. Don't just focus in and lock in on what's in your reality. Sometimes you gotta maybe create, like sometimes I create a burner account and I follow all the damn feminists and panders. That's how I make up a lot of my content. I create a burner account. I follow all the Derek Jacksons and some GQ Perry dude. Y'all know who that dude is. All the sexy
Nah.
panderers and stuff.
I mean, I've tried that, but honestly, I just can't. I mean, I'll react to these panels and shit like that, but I just can't follow channels. For example, I try. You guys know Shira 7, the sprinkle woman. Like I tried, but I just couldn't. Like channels that just hate men. I've tried. I was like, maybe I should react to this, but I just couldn't take it. Like the hatred was too much from those women. I just couldn't do it. I don't know how he does it, but I couldn't.
I get the algorithm, so I know what reality they're living in, and it is.
How you judging if they sexy or not?
How do I judge if they sexy? Well, I'm an image consultant, so I can acknowledge flattering features in both sexes. I studied it, so it doesn't intersect with my own personal preference. Nice try, I'm white. But anyways, man, let me just go ahead and pass the mic because he just derailed my whole point. Soliloquy. Y'all go ahead.
Okay, so so I did have an opportunity to look at the video, and I will say a lot of the things. If I take myself out of what's going on today and I listen to what you're saying, I agree with a lot of things that you're saying.
That's surprising.
I think that people don't overlook these things intentionally. It's almost like that quote: "You got 99 problems until your health comes. If something happens to your health, now you only got one." Right? I think the problem is people are so engaged with their own problems. They don't have time to think about other people's problems. Because I would say that there are probably men who don't have these issues and they could care less, right? It's men who are getting women and they don't know that there are guys who are going through this. Let's just say you're married, you guys are Christian, you don't cheat on each other. They may care less about a guy getting a paternity test. You understand? So I don't.
She's wrong. Before she goes on a rant, I don't know any man who doesn't have woman problems. Even the men who claim to get all these women who claim, oh no, I don't know what problems you guys are having. I get all the women I want. Clearly, you can't keep the women. So clearly, there's an issue. If you're saying you get all these women, but you can't keep any of them, so that's an issue in itself. We need to find out how you can't keep one woman. If you keep saying we get all these women, even the men who are married, they're also getting issues. They just don't like to talk about it.
I think it's just women not caring about men, right? I think it's a human thing. Humans have a tendency to only care about the things that directly affect them.
That's true.
And so I think that that's one of the things I disagreed about. I agree with, can I get my glasses on? Young lady with the red on. I agree with her. I mean, as far as the fraternity test was concerned, I mean, I know this is digging deep into what you were saying, but as far as the fraternity test is concerned, I agree with that. So I don't agree that it should be mandatory to have fraternity tests.
It should be.
I think that, but I think it should be suggested. I think it should be highly recommended that men get a fraternity test, $75. Because my thing is, who's gonna pay for that? You know what I'm saying? Is it gonna be taxpayer money? Is it gonna be your insurance that's gonna pay it when you could just go and take a test? But I do, like she said, believe that there should be a consequence. I think that that's the better solution. Saying, hey, if you commit fraud against somebody, whether you falsely accuse them of essaying you, or if you falsely accuse them of being the father of your child, knowingly, knowing this man was not the father, I feel like you should be criminally charged like any other fraud, right? So, and that to me will take care of that issue. And I can't remember. I mean, he has so much to say.
I gotta give Sean credit. First time, also first time. It's happening, guys. It's starting to happen. It's not everywhere, but more and more women are coming out to say that, hey, listen, if a woman accuses a man falsely, if she lies on a man, she should go to jail. So I think that will help out to keep the women who are telling the truth, because so many women, especially against celebrities. Because if a woman accuses you of doing something, but it's not true, as an average man, you could go to jail, lose your job, But for celebrities, it's usually about the money. But if they find out the woman is lying, there should be some jail time. And some women are coming out to say that, that should be the way to go. Of course, most women are not going to agree because they want to leave the door open in case they also lie on men so they don't have to go to jail, so that there's no consequence. But some women, Ty talked about it. Shan talked about it. So shout out to these ladies. I have to give them credit, guys. I mean, I have to. But shout out to Lapeef, man. This was a good show. All right, so link down below. Till next time, like, subscribe.